am so excited to welcome our panelists today to our second open house. We have two parents, individuals who are current participants in our TOPS program, and some of our OSU students who provide not only assistance in our office, but also act as natural supports as ed coaches and or mentors to our TOPS students. And so the goal of this panel that we want to accomplish is to help answer some of your questions, also deliver what their experiences have been in our TOPS program, to just give you some ideas of what we do. I'm going to ask that some of them, that they be nice. No, I'm just kidding. No, so you know who I was talking to. See, he knew exactly who I was talking to. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and let our panelists introduce themselves, and we'll start with the parents.
Hi, I'm Angela Daly, and I have a son, Jerome Hancock, in the program.
I'm Ursula McCord, and I have a son, Seamus McCord, who's been in the program for about 3 years now.
So I am Seamus McCord, who is in the program.
What are you doing right now, Seamus?
I work, well, I'll let Adam introduce himself.
I'm Amos, and I'm in my second year in the program.
How you guys doing? I'm Marcellus Christian. I'm the second year in the program, and I currently work at the Columbus Zoo.
Hi, I'm Marissa Blankenship. I'm a student assistant, and I'm a second year at Ohio State. I study psychology and sociology.
Hi, my name is Angela Rigoli. I'm a student assistant in the transitions department. I serve as an educational coach to the students, as well as a tutor and mentor, and I'm currently a graduating senior English major at Ohio State.
Okay, so I'm going to ask some questions, and then if you all can jump in and ask questions if you like. So one of my first questions will be to the parents. What has your experience been like in the TOPS program? What do you think has been?
Okay, I'll go first. Seamus joined the program. Seamus is 26 years old now. He joined the program 3 years ago, and he went through the regular school system really without having any kind of special adaptations or anything. He went through the Catholic school system, and he graduated from St. Charles High School with a lot of struggle on our part with trying to help him with all of his academics, and I kind of thought the 4 years would never end. He doesn't like me to say that because he really enjoyed it, but for my husband and I, it was a lot of work. So Seamus joined the Aspirations program here at Ohio State, which is a social group for people who graduated from high school. And was doing that for social activity. He also attended Columbus State and was working towards getting an associate's degree. And again, that was something that I really had to work a lot at with him to get his notes, to get to class. It was just a lot of hard work. So we stopped short of getting the associate's degree just because I was kind of burnt out. But as he was in the Aspirations program, somebody in the program got him connected with a graduate student to do a little counseling. And that graduate student, it was a student of Tom Fish's, told Seamus about the TOPS program. So at that point I contacted Yvette, and Seamus joined the program. And it's been the best thing that we've ever done. They said to him, well, why haven't you finished your associate's degree? And the answer was kind of, my mother's burnt out, so there's no reason. There's no reason for your mother to be burnt out. We have people here who can help you do all the things that she's been doing. So he went back and he got his associate's degree after joining the TOPS program. He's done many internships. He's actually got a paid job now, working at the football games, working with the company that does the concessions, and also at the Schottenstein Center. And we've seen so much growth and growth in his confidence, growth in independence, and he's got such a busy schedule. He spent a few years after graduating from high school just kind of sitting around the house with nothing to do. Suddenly he's working, he's got events to go to, he has friends he's seeing, and he's like a new person. In fact, we took a trip to Boston in the summer to see my family, they hadn't seen him in a couple of years, and everybody just commented, my gosh, Seamus is just so much more engaged, he's so much more alert, he knows what's going on, they saw so much improvement, and then they were so happy to see it. So it's a long-winded version of how we got involved, so.
Jerome actually just started the program this past fall, and we came by way of, I actually work for Opportunities for Ohioans with Disabilities. So his counselor introduced us to the program, along with also knew Mike from working there. So far, I've really been impressed with everything. He's come out of his shell a lot, probably like Seamus, where he was withdrawn and didn't talk to people. Now people see him, they're like, oh wow, he holds actual conversation and tells you more about his interests and what he likes to do. He's ventured out more on his own. He still relies on me for transportation, but he does know how to catch the Dakota bus and get around campus better than me. I'm intimidated by the campus. So I really like it. He's met some friends. He does more. He's still a little withdrawn at home, but it's just the two of us and the dogs. But he still likes to get out. When I say I'm leaving, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go with you. Versus I'm gonna just stay at home. So it's been a really good experience. He talks to the kids. There was a time where he wouldn't talk to anyone. I don't care where you went. If they talked to him, it was yes or no questions, answer what you had to say, and that was it. So it's a really good program.
Thank you, Angela. Students, to the current students, what has been the biggest transition for you from high school to college? What's been your biggest challenge that you had to learn?
I don't really know. I know we've discussed this before. You say you think college is harder than high school. That's where I said I disagreed with you. But what I thought, I don't know. As I said, I thought it was a lot easier actually, and it went better for me. So I don't know what the biggest transition was. I'd say it was mostly that it felt easier for me. I kind of felt like I liked it better. So I don't know if there was such a big transition. For me, I just felt like it got better actually.
What got better?
Just doing the stuff and just the way I thought it just was easier, and
Are you more independent?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't answer my question. Would you agree, Mom?
Yes, I would. Sure.
So that's been your transition,
Yeah.
being more independent. Next, who else? Yeah, anyone want to tackle that?
Sure.
What did you learn? What has been your biggest struggle?
My biggest struggle from high school to college is basically the homework load. The homework load in high school, I really depend on my teachers the most because my teachers gave me the homework and kind of spoon-fed me, which I didn't really like that as much. But from high school to college is really hard. It is harder than high school. I've faced so many obstacles in my life, and it's been a big struggle, and I finally succeeded.
All right.
I'll say that I kind of agree with Adam. When I went to high school, they it was like survival for me, because it's like, either you're gonna pass or either they're gonna fail you, and so I had to just do what I had to do. So when I left Eastmore, it was like a relief because of all the stuff that I've been through and all the changes that went through me. When I went here, I was locked in my shell as well. I didn't talk to anybody until I met Miss Yvette. But as the classes go, they're really helpful. They're really like, they don't help you do it. You gotta do it yourself. And if you don't do it yourself, well, you just blew your opportunity here at Ohio State. But yeah, it's a big difference here.
Let me ask you another question, Marcellus.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of your experience here,
Mm-hmm.
when you say the classes are tough, in terms of in the classes that you're taking in the program classes, career and personal adjustment, what are you working on in those classes that make it different than high school?
Just independent living.
Whose goals are you working on?
I'm working on mine.
Okay. And so that's been a change, right? Because in high school, you're working on whatever content, right, that they want you to learn. And so through our classes, you get to work on your goals, right? And develop, so I know I'm prompting, but but that is one of the things that he's learned. I want to ask our OSU students, what has been your experience in the TOPS program?
So I just started in the TOPS program in June, and I will say that I didn't really know much about this field. I didn't know much about special education after high school or just regularly enrolled education or opportunities. And I will say that working with this program has changed the way I view that whole realm, and it's really changed my career goals. I actually changed my major to psychology because of this program, and I am so interested in the opportunities for students after high school.
My experience, I've been with the TOPS program and the transitions department for a little over a year and a half now. And as I said before, I've served a little bit as an educational coach, a little bit as a tutor, kind of gotten into a lot of different areas with the students. And my major, English, I hope to pursue English education as a high school English teacher. And this program has really made me realize that there is no one-size-fits-all method in education. And I think that, especially in high school, I remember, it was a lot of lecturing, taking tests, not a whole lot of dialogue, and you get that a lot in the college level too. And that's not the best way for everyone to learn. And through being an educational coach and a tutor, I've really been able to get creative and come up with different ways to kind of present different material to the students. And I know that it's helped them because I've seen it on, not only their just test results and quizzes that I help them take for their OSU classes and SLC classes, but also just in the way that they, discuss different things with me, the different, ways that they're able to kind of use that learning, like in their everyday life. You can tell that they're able to apply it when it's exposed to them in different ways. And so I look forward to taking that, although I don't hope to teach, necessarily special education, being an English teacher, I definitely want to be able to present material in different ways to my students. And I don't think I would have gotten that exposure and really have learned that without the TOPS program. So I know that I've been able to help the students, which I'll take with me forever, but it's also benefited me a lot to be a part of it. So.
Right. To our parents, and thinking about this transition that you're in and your child's in, can you give what's been the biggest transition that you've gone through in terms of how you support your child as their participation in our program? What's been your challenge with?
For me, the biggest change is it's kind of been a load off my shoulders, really, because although I'm still there to support Seamus and I do drive him, when he has to come over here, I drive him and I pick him up and all of that. But he has coaches to help him out on his jobs. He has students helping him with all his schoolwork. So I really don't have to do any of that. And it's not that I'm too lazy to do it or anything like that, but for him, it's much better to be independent of me. And I just think that's wonderful. For me, it's just a great feeling to see how independent he has become, and to know that it's not like he's thrown to the wolves. It's not like he's out there and there's nobody to help him. I know that he has people to turn to. In the classroom, he's got people that are going to guide him and help him if he doesn't understand something. He can always, talk to Yvette and Toy and all the other people in the program, and they've been tremendous supports to him. And also, I have to say, to me, if ever I've had a problem, I can very freely give Yvette or Toy a call or send an email, and it's addressed right away. So for me, I guess to answer the question, it's given me a little more freedom to be a mom to him and to my other kids, and to not really have to be a teacher or a job coach or anything like that. So it's been a nice shift.
I would have to agree. The biggest transition for me was to sort of step back and let him make his own decisions, and actually it was probably a transition for both of us because he's always looking for me to solve the issue, and of course as a mother that's what I would do. I would solve it or try to solve it. He's gained more confidence in applying for jobs on his own and without me going in there and talking to the manager first and trying to explain his quirkiness, and just so the biggest transition is for me not to have my hands in the pot all the time. So I think he likes it for the most part, but then there are still times where he wants me in there and I'm like, I don't want to. And not keep up with his schedule so much, although I get the emails for where he needs to be and it comes through my phone. I am not as diligent about his schedule as I am about mine. So of course, because I'm trying to let it go, of course, I miss some stuff. So that came back to bite me. So I have to pay a little bit more attention on that one. But Yvette and Mike and just the whole crew, if I call or email, the issues or any concerns are addressed immediately. He has a great counselor with Oud because I work in the same office as her, I get to see her, so I don't have to wait for an email response from her. And it's really a great program because I didn't know what to expect. And we learned how to catch the bus together because we're not from here, we're from Cleveland. So that was an experience. So yes, I've been the job coach. I've been, teach you how to catch transportation. I know how to catch the bus in Cleveland. I do not know how to catch the bus in Columbus.
It's a whole different beast.
It's a whole different beast. We have a rapid. You go downtown, then you spread out to where you need to go. So it was interesting. He's learned. I now have to work on him on arranging his own coordination because we live in Delaware and it's a different bus system. And so I haven't let go of that control. I still call.
So I was going to say, as Angela said, she's new in the program. So when she said she has to work on that, we'll work on, because that's Jerome's load, and we'll work with him on getting that under control. Okay. To my students, in terms of what were you most, and I know you guys talked about what were some of your challenges. What do you enjoy most about your experience in the TOPS program?
Well, I mean, there have been so many things I've enjoyed. I mean, I've enjoyed it all. I've loved being able to find the jobs I've had to do them as much as I have. That's been a great thing. And I certainly loved being able to graduate and then taking the classes I've taken since then. I've certainly loved getting to know all these people too. I guess I just love being up here and getting to do all the things I do. I mean, I just always have a great time here at the program. So I guess what I love most, well, I guess all those things, but probably just that I've gotten to be with these people so much and enjoy being with them as much as I have.
And I'm going to have to just stop and give Seamus a hand clap.
Thank you.
That's an awesome response. And for Seamus to give that many details, I'm proud of it. Go ahead. That's awesome, Seamus.
Thank you.
All right, Adam.
All right, well, my experience in the program has been a very long journey. Well, it started I used to have a internship with Disability Rights Ohio, and that didn't go so well. So my job coach that hooked me up, Rachel in the back, got me the internship at Woody Hayes, which is now a paid position. And now I'm doing well in my academics as well. I'm majoring in political science, taking political science classes, and it's been a great ride, a great journey. I love Ohio State. I love everybody.
Yeah, I have to agree with everybody here on the panel.
What have you enjoyed most, Marcella?
I enjoy doing doing like the outside events, like, you know, helping out the Ohio State swim team. Doing Zumba, doing being friends at the internships with Scott, Jay, Rachel, and also working at the Columbus and Aquarium with Zambezi Bay Zoo. That's cool as well. So there's a lot of things. It's been a journey for me. A lot of changes, a lot of changes, and also a lot of new me now. Not wearing no more like hoodies over my face, acting crazy and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of changes in me though. But yeah, it's been really a fun ride with everybody. I love y'all.
To our OSU students, what do you think what's the value of having individuals that are participating in our TOPS program to the university? Okay, I'm you guys. How do you think this benefits the university?
I think that diversity as a whole benefits benefits everyone at the university, because I was listening a little bit to the keynote speaker, Dr. Allsbrooks, that was up here, and I think that she said it pretty well, that not one group has all the answers. And I think that kind of, for me, that says it all. You know, no one group or no one individual has all the answers to any situation. We all come from different walks of life, different places, and we all have something special to contribute, you know, in society, and also contribute to one another. And I just think it's really important to learn from one another. And so being able to be integrated into like the TOPS community has just been really helpful for me, because I feel like, you know, going on and being a teacher, that's my ultimate goal. I feel like I have so much new experiences that I can share with my future students, and that I can reach so many more people. So,
Angela, I want to improve upon my question. I'm sorry. And ask you actually the question that I should have asked. In terms of your experience, you've been ed coaching with our students. What have been, in terms of class, what are the reactions of other students, and what do you find the value of our participation?
Well, I can use a very specific example. I was coaching Adam actually last spring in one of his political science classes. And they had a group project, and I think at first, Adam, and you can probably say so as well, you were a little nervous about getting involved in a group project, because it was the first time he'd ever worked in a group at the college level, and they all had to bring in like a specific area of politics, current politics, to bring in and contribute to the group project. And Adam was really interested in, I believe it was like guns and violence, right?
Yes.
And so he was able to take that interest that he had and contribute a very specific part to the group that they hadn't thought of themselves. And that was really, I think, unique, because without Adam being integrated into that group, they wouldn't have had that component to their project. And just like everyone else, I mean, you know, they can bring something unique, you know, to a group, to the class as a whole. A lot of times when you're in a class, you know, they want dialogue, the professor wants everybody to share their opinions. And I think that is what benefits the classes at Ohio State from having the top students in there, is because they can bring a very unique perspective, and it gives them an opportunity to share, you know, their opinions, their thoughts, you know, express their interests in a way that I don't think they would have had opportunities to do so before. So I think that's how it benefits OSU students. Sure.
In much the same manner as Angela, I think that the diversity as well is a great piece, and not only in the classroom but out of the classroom as well. Our students work on campus, and for other regularly enrolled students and staff members to see different approaches to problem solving and thought processes, it's a really good way to add something to the work environment that wasn't there before. Perhaps we can solve problems in different ways and approach a team project or something with a different mode of thought. And I think that is very helpful in just who we are as a university.
I'm going to open it up to the audience. You have specific questions that you want answered. We have about 15 more minutes or so. Any questions to the panel?
Yes.
Do any of the students that are involved or participants in the program, I guess the TOPS program, do you all live on campus or do you commute or?
Well, I live at home, so I commute, yes.
I live at home too.
Actually, I live in Upper Arlington, so I provide a service that takes me to and from campus.
Thank you.
Stay as a roommate. Any other questions? Okay. All right, I'll ask.
Wait, Adam, could you clarify where your parents live?
Oh yes. My parents, they actually live in Kent, which is like 2 hours northeast of here. And that guy sent me down here like off the hook, so.
Is there any extracurricular activities that you guys enjoy here on campus?
I like if I'm not working, I'll go to the art pack to lift weights, or I'll go to the swim meet to help out the swim team whenever they need help, stuff like that.
Each year we take the students to the student involvement fair, and there's different student organizations that are being advertised, and they have the opportunity to see those. And every week we have a social group with the students from our program, and we do different activities. This month we carved pumpkins, we watched Ghostbusters, and over the summer we went to the state fair. There was a Zumba class yesterday, and things like that. It was fun. Yeah.
How is the classes?
How are the classes?
How's the classes
What's
going?
your caseload like, or your class load like?
Yeah, class load is different from high school because you'll have like more classes than it is in high school, like more books, like a little bit more homework. But it's you can nail it though if you put your mind to it.
Like how many classes are you taking along with how many hours are you working?
It changes up for me now since Wildlights is coming around at the zoo.
What's coming?
Wildlights.
Oh, okay.
Zoo lights.
Yeah, zoo light. Yeah.
So like what classes are you taking now?
I'm taking student living classes right now, and then hopefully maybe in the fall I'll probably do music theory because I love to do something with music.
And Adam?
Well, my classes are going well.
What classes are you taking?
I'm currently taking like classes probably everywhere. Like some are in political science.
No,
like,
right now, what are you taking?
Now I'm taking this career class, this career connection class with Dr. Barrios, which it's been going well. We can do like resumes. We have skills to get a job, interview, and it's been a great ride in the class.
And then you have program classes?
And also the 2 other program classes with 2 great teachers, both Toy and Rachel, which I enjoy the most.
Well, yes, I'm taking a disability studies class right now, so that's what I'm doing. I'm auditing that class for the semester, and then the same, I'm taking those 2 classes up here with TOPS. So, yeah.
So I want to be specific. Several of our students are in the employment track, which is our 2-year program, and so they're not taking OSU classes. Several of them are in the 4-year track and are participating in the audited coursework. So some of them have more employment right now because they've been in the program for a while and aren't participating in as many classes. So it varies based on the individual. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Any other questions for the panel?
Can I say something? Yeah. About the classes? Every day they go to class from 3 to 4:30, and that's called their SLC or Student Learning Communities. When they go to the Student Learning Community, they learn independent living skills, which include like nutrition, fitness, fire safety, cooking. What else do you guys teach?
Travel.
Yeah. And we talked about alcohol. We talked about those this morning.
Right, so that's what they do, like, and they also, I know a couple of the students was speaking with me, the parents, that sometimes in the evening, and I told her this wasn't on our regular curriculum, but they had started a driving permit class to try to help them get study and pass their test for their learner's permit, because several were interested in that. And that came about, something extra, because that's the interest that they had.
Yes. And so as Shannon pointed out, some of the things as we find students came to us last year wanting to learn more about how to cook. And so in the Maymester, we developed a 4-week program that really focused on nutrition, meal planning. We did cooking and various activities. And then others came to us in the fall saying, we really want to learn how to drive. And so we developed some curricula and worked with individuals. I think you guys just finished that up, correct? Yes, ma'am. Okay, for a 7-week programming on not teaching them how to drive, because I don't think anybody would volunteer their car. We were going to use Margot's, but she said no. But no, I'm just kidding. But it was actually to help them pass the test. And so, and then it's helping them develop the skills and understand the vocabulary that they're going to see. It's the very same thing that we would do in our coursework and other areas of living. So, that we develop at things as our students identify needs, and we know that transportation for people with disabilities is a real issue, and for several of our students, if they can drive, it would make transportation a lot easier. To the panel, specifically to the parents, if you could say one thing that you would say to parents who are considering or entering this transition process, because one of the things I've learned as the program manager, this is just the biggest transition for you as it is for the student. What would be a tip you would say, or you would give them to keep in mind as they enter this process?
I would say probably trust the technique, and you have to calm your own fears, because having being a parent of a student with disabilities, what they face, because people come at you crazy about your child issuing. You understand your child, but others don't. So I would just say trust the technique, and trust you've given your child all the things they need to be a productive citizen. And although they are special, they don't want to be excluded or made to stand out because of their disability. So if they can blend in as much as possible, then to let them do it without drawing the attention. I know as parents, we sometimes, because we always have our hands in it, trying to make sure that they're protected, sometimes make it worse.
And I would agree with that, and I would say that to allow yourself to relinquish control, slowly over time, and not control so much as just, I guess control it. Don't try to run everything in their lives, and trust that there are people here to help them. And I do have to say that that has been very easy for me to do with this program, because when Seamus first entered it, the very first time we had our person-centered meeting about him, I couldn't believe the people that showed up. I couldn't believe how it was person-centered, how it is individualized. And it was the first place he had ever been, all the way through school or any other kind of programs he entered in, where people really appreciated his strengths and really helped him to flourish using those strengths, but also recognized areas of weakness, and didn't just kind of brush him off and say he can't do this. They really found ways to help him work around them and help him improve. So I think it's very easy to trust the program once you get into it, because you have the feeling that people are very interested in your child and want nothing but to help him, and they, whatever it is, they're very creative. They find ways to make it work. So.
To our students, what are some things, what have you learned about yourself in this process in attending our TOPS program, what were some of the things that maybe surprised you? That you thought you were prepared for, but you weren't so prepared for?
I don't know. I guess I think it's helped. A lot of things have just I haven't been able to believe how good they were, but maybe things I thought I was more prepared for than I wasn't. I don't know. I guess I guess anything can be hard. Like I guess anytime I start a new job or anything, there are still things to learn and all that. So it's that can be hard. I mean, I think I normally adjust pretty well, but that can be hard. Sometimes I'm not completely prepared for it, and there are a lot of new things to learn with that. And so I guess
So maybe some adjusting, learning to adapt to various environments.
Yeah.
I think it's an excellent response.
Thank you.
Adam?
Yes, well, actually, I have never worked in a group before in a class discussion, and I finally did it. In my American politics class, we had a group project. I was really nervous at the time, saying, I can't do this, but I finally came on top and went in my group, and finally turned out with a great outcome that I made a change in my group.
But so being able to participate in a group discussion and contribute. That's what Adam. Marcellus?
Like when I was working at the Ohio State Medical Center, I didn't think that I could push a whatever pound cart that was to that place, but I knew that over time I was going to get good at it, and I knew that as I developed the skills to do other things like the zoo, like the mail, like Graves Hall, all those places, I knew that I had the skills of not just being a fast learner, but also knowing that I had the skills to do anything I put my mind to.
So you think that the program has helped you believe that you can accomplish?
Yes,
what?
if you
with a little effort.
Yes, if you just put your mind to it and you know that this is what you want, then just go for it. Jesse Owens did it, and and he's like the famous man here got his own track.
Yeah. So again, you talk a lot about goal setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think all three of you would agree. Talk a lot about goal setting and identifying those action steps. To our OSU students, tell some of the experiences you've talked about with our students, perhaps how, and Angela, you spoke on this a little bit, in terms of how it's impacted your careers, but also how you communicate maybe with others about people with disabilities.
Sure. So just the way that sorry, let me start again. Problem solving, as I mentioned before, is a huge piece of the program, and goal setting as well. So when people ask me, what I do, I speak of being in class with the students and doing regular things I would do with my friends with the students, and they say, oh, you do these things with people with disabilities, and I say, yes, they're adults, they're our age, and they do the same things we do. They're just in a different program than we are. So the way I communicate is that these are our peers. These students are my peers. We're friends. We're the same age. And the way I talk about it to my friends is that, perhaps they approach things a little bit differently and learn a little bit differently, but these are people that are basically in the same place in life we are. We're all in college. We're all together.
Yeah, kind of building off of that, I think that it's easy, it's always easy for people to criticize those who seem different, criticize people who are different, with or without disabilities. And one of the ways that I have learned to come across my friends who don't always encounter people with special needs now is that, like Marissa said, I mean, they're my friends. We work with them. They contribute to society in the same ways that we do. And I think it's always interesting for my peers to hear, when they don't encounter individuals with disabilities, is that they have a lot of the same goals and ambitions and wants as we do. And so once they kind of warm up to that idea and get to understand that we are actually more similar to them than, we are different, they are, become interested in participating with me, for example, in the TOPS program, coming to the social groups and learning more about, all kinds of diverse populations. So I think it just really, instead of, automatically going to criticize and assume that, we're too different to understand each other or to really work together, I'm able to help people understand that they can connect with people with disabilities in a lot, more ways than they, can really feel different from them.
For TOPS participants, what tip would you give the students sitting in this room that would help them prepare for the next level of education for college?
I'd say just keep working hard and do the best you can. And I know, it would certainly be great to join this program. I know they help with a lot, as we've said, and so just always work hard and to take advantage of any support you can get, and to do the best you can yourself. And I think just a lot of great things can happen then. And so just always work as hard as possible. And I know if you're in this program, you'll have a lot of great things happen for you.
I like that word, yourself. But go ahead, Adam.
Well, it's trusting yourself. Trusting yourself that you can come in this program and make a great change from high school to college, and believe that you can do it. You're not alone. Keep up the hard work. Keep it up.
I would say keep on, keep doing what you're doing, and if you really want to get into this program, we're like a big family. We all do the same stuff as everybody here on campus. Just have that determination, that drive, that passion, that momentum, and that you want it that badly. Come to TOPS.
Any questions before we?
Yes. Currently, how many students are enrolled in your TOPS program?
16.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
With the housing, I've heard two different dates as far as the new dorms. Somebody said 2015 and somebody said 2016. Which one might be correct?
The building of the dorms and the new policies that will be in place by 2016. So, of course, there will be different dorms opening at different times, but we'll have 35 different dorms by 2016.
And so if, as far as the TOPS program, because two of you live at home, one in an apartment, I guess what's your thoughts with dorm living versus the apartments? And is the TOPS program going to support the students in the dorms or in the apartments? Because this seems like one of the hardest transitions is getting the right roommate and being integrated fully in Ohio State. So
that's excellent. That's an excellent question. So before I answer, I'm going to throw it to my panel over here. Adam, you live independently off campus, correct?
Yes.
How does the TOPS program support you with your independent living needs, living in your apartment?
Well, there's like
The past one and this year.
there's like two components to this. The independent living is part of it, with like getting my routine going, and as well as my schedule because I'm so busy.
So helping you manage your daily schedule. Yes. And how do we do that?
And
what do you use?
Yeah, I use useful technology that helps me the best when planning my routine. Like, for example, like go to bed at a certain time, like go to bed at 10 o'clock. And I've mastered that. I won't pass that.
Okay, so you use what technology? Google Calendar?
Right.
Okay.
Google Calendar.
Okay.
And my phone as well.
Okay, so the top, we've worked with you on that. what other ways in terms of your apartment living have TOPS supported you?
Well, the apartment itself, well, make sure it's a safe place to live. TOPS has also supported me in my daily living at that apartment by being able to cook for myself, being able to do the skills that I have.
And some of those other things that we help coordinate the provider supports in place, correct?
Yes, through Outreach.
Yeah, through his provider agency. And I do believe Rachel and I have spent some time in your apartment as well. So some of the things we work with you on, how many of you have done a roommate agreement with, okay?
We all
and
did,
worked
yeah.
on that. Now I know you live at home, Seamus, but it's things that they need to know about and understanding how to live together and support each other. So we work with them on that. Again, we work with them on the provider supports. Transportation, work with them on catching the bus and those kind of things. So those are some of the ways we support. Seamus also participated in our program, our May programs, and was working on cooking skills. I think we introduced you to washing dishes, Seamus.
Yeah.
And he did it, but
Do you use a dishwasher or actually wash?
That's the thing. That's what she said. I just wasn't used to washing them like I said. What do you have to do? You just always have a dishwasher. Actually, our dishwasher's broken right now, so I am seeing it now.
Well, you know, this is very good for me to know because I have been doing all the dishes. I didn't know that.
The best time to introduce someone to washing dishes is when the thing that they use to be lazy is broken.
no, actually dishwashing is real important in our household, Josh. But no, he definitely knows how.
I had one comment about the housing. By 2016, I think we're hoping that we are able to work with the Office of Student Life to work with, as we integrate students into dorms, that they do get the integration just like any other student, and you have an RA, and we may be there providing some supports. We haven't worked those details out yet, but the idea is to integrate those students that dorm would be a good fitting, would make sense. Some students, it's not a good fit. Anxiety, and they're noisy, they're stressful. Just think back to when you were in college, So, we'll take those on a case-by-case situation, but we would want to work with the Office of Student Life to integrate students into those. That's the plan.
I think that would really help.
Yes.
With the whole transition is that they get involved, and the Ohio State students are involved in that as well because they want to be a part of everything. So.
Right. One of the things that I was looking forward to in college is, one of the major things in college is dorm life, and that's what I was looking forward to. I do live 20 minutes away from here, so coming back and forth wouldn't be a problem, but it's just one of those things in college that a lot of students want to participate in. It's one of those college traditions that you only get to experience once, so.
So I'm actually going to say something that will not apply to a lot of people. TOPS, we are very flexible, and so one of the things that we work with students who are in our audited program, that's credit, and we also work with students who, and we've built our program this way, who are credit earning students. So we talked about that although our certificate program is not a degree seeking program, okay? Individuals that attend the university and has come into the university with regular enrollment, okay, you have an opportunity for the dorm. So your name's Joshua? Josh? Tell me your name again. Huh? Josh. Okay, so if you're coming into this university through the regular enrollment process, that means you've passed all the assessments and tests and you're getting services from the Office of Disability Services, there's a possibility that we can support on top of, they only provide so many supports. We can coordinate and work with the Office of Disability Services, which we do. to help provide any additional supports. So for you coming into the university under regular enrollment, okay, it's something different, okay? But for most of our students, they will come through the TOPS program in our admissions process, okay? And then, and that's where we got to think about, again, ensuring that the placement into dorm life, and into the dorms is the right fit. And for, I will say, I think the three young men up here feel like that they are part of the university because our program, and I think Marissa and Angela spoke to that, in every part of our program, they are with OSU students. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. They are learning from OSU students, and OSU students are learning from them. And so they're participating in the activities on campus as much as they desire. Some things we require them to do, like Zumba last night at RPAC. And that's giving them exposure. And how many of you like the Zumba? Okay, and because they'll say, I don't want to do that, but they've never had that experience. And then and a lot of their program is them selecting those activities. Marcella's working out, Adam going running. Those are things that they select to do because fitness and health and wellness is a big part of our program as well. So again, we're very, very person-centered. It's a very complex program. So as much as possible, we try to integrate and make sure students are engaged in the activities here on campus. And so that's why the transportation pieces and all those things we try to work out in those meetings with their and coordinate those services. Some of our students are limited because of their transportation, but that's like any other and student. So it's working those things out since we know that. Staying in the dorms, that's another $10,000. And so some families, that wouldn't be an option even if we had that opportunity. So we want to make sure we develop a program that has a continuum of options for students and developing the supports. Okay.
I know a lot of students that are in college right now that do not want to live in the dorm. They do not want to live in the dorm. And I know one girl next year is going to college as a freshman, and one of the main things she's looking for is she does not want to go to a college that they require that she lives on campus. She does not want to experience that part of college life.
It was a tough pill swallow, and I think there's going to be some challenges, but Ohio State is preparing for that. Like I said, our students will be involved in the learning communities that are part of the dorms and all those activities as well. I want to say thank you to our panel for being willing to come today and provide such excellent insight into what we do in the TOPS program. Right now, I'm going to adjourn at 3 o'clock. There's a reception. I'll give you an opportunity